Hi everyone and welcome back to part 9 in this coloured pencil tutorial series. Thank you for your patience if you are drawing this in real time with me as and when I upload, as I was on holiday last week, so I skipped a week. We went to Cornwall and it was really nice, it was so lovely. So thank you for waiting for this video. I'm going to try and upload 2 this week to make up for it. So without further ado, everything is listed down below and let's get stuck into part 9. I really wanted to start on the paw for this video, but I decided that, as I've said in a different part, if I was to start on the paw, my hand would probably smudge it all being right-handed, so I'm going to start from the top and sort of work my way down like I have been doing in the other parts. So I'm just going to use warm grey 1 because it is a bit more of like a warm grey colour here rather than a yellowy ivory sort of colour. So I'm just going to dab away the pencil marks. I hope that you've all been well. I had such a good time away, but I have missed doing this. I feel a bit like out of the loop now, but I'll get back into it pretty quickly, I imagine. So I'm just gonna use this warm grey just as a base. Around here, and then to be honest I might actually use a bit of ivory here. That's a bit more yellowy, so I'll just add this in first just so I can clearly see my sections a bit better. And then I'll use a bit of ivory as well. Just concentrating it into this like little tuft bit here. I think we made the most of the last bit of summer in Cornwall last week. It's gone horrible now. It's like flooding and raining. It's not stopped raining since the day we got back, so I feel like it was a good decision to go last week and not this week. It's like autumn has suddenly just hit. Right. Looks a bit random at the minute, but that's fine. We're going to sort that out now. So I'm going to do this slightly differently, I think, to the combination we've been doing so far. It is a slightly different tone. It's more of like a warm grey tone than like a brownie tone here. So I'm going to use warm grey. I think, is it 5 with V? Is that 5? I think so. Warm grey V, anyway, if you're not good with Roman numerals.
Here's something I found on the web.
Oh.
According to chowhound.com, try bacon gravy.
Why did that just happen? Oh my god, it freaks me out. I'm not going to say the name because it'll start up again, but it freaks me out when my echo just randomly starts talking to me. But yes, I'm going to use warm gravy and just start adding in some first strokes. Just following the direction. I don't even know what it were on about then. Something about bacon. And it also goes in like this direction. So I'm gonna just try and do a combination of both. So strokes going up and strokes going like diagonal left. I'm not pressing on hard at all, I'm just sort of adding some little soft strokes. Yeah, I can't believe how beautiful Cornwall is. Like, it's one of the most gorgeous places that I've been to, and I'm so lucky that it's in the UK. It was a 7-hour drive, but it was definitely worth it. I think St Ives is my favourite, and I also really liked the Lizard. We did like a coastal walk. It was lovely. Definitely go back one day. Just going to join these two sections up together. Oh, by the way, for the next tutorial that I do after I finish this one, I did ask on Instagram what you'd like to see, and a few people did say they'd like to see a bird, so I think I might do. Somebody suggested actually a swallow. I think that would be really nice. Wow, it's just started absolutely peeing it down. So yeah, I think I might do that. I'd enjoy that. I've wanted to draw one anyway, so it'd be a good excuse to draw one. And I really like drawing birds. They're a lot quicker. I like the technique of drawing feathers, and I think it'd be something a bit different to the last couple of tutorials that I've done. I've also been drawing a hedgehog. If you follow me on like Facebook or Instagram or anything, you might have already seen it, but yeah, I've been drawing a hedgehog and I've really enjoyed it. I didn't do it as a tutorial or a draw with me just because I've never drawn a hedgehog before, and I could just see me messing it up and then it would just be a terrible video. But I thought I'll give it a go first with no pressure, no need to film it, and then if it goes well I'll possibly do like a hedgehog tutorial. Maybe a different picture, I think. I don't like drawing the same picture more than once. But we'll see. See if I can find a nice picture and do another one. Right, I'm going to use a bit of dark sepia now just to darken up this little bit we've just done. Just add a bit more definition and a bit more interest in there. I've been thinking a lot recently about which direction I want to go with my art. Like, obviously at the minute I mostly do commissions, and I sell some wildlife related cards and prints, but I've not really built that bit up much yet. And I've sort of been thinking, do I want to go into that area more or do more commissions? But I think I want to do the teaching eventually as like a full-time job. That's what I really enjoy, so yeah, I really enjoy this side of it. And I would like to do Patreon. I think I've said that a few times, but at the minute I'm just a bit like, I don't feel like my quality of my camera is good enough. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Is it good quality? I just feel paranoid that it's not good enough and I need to get like a 4K, like really high quality camera, but obviously they're very expensive. And yeah, I don't know if... Let me know what you think about the quality of these videos. I don't know if I'm just overthinking it. Oh, I'm using a bit of nougat, by the way, just had a bit of brown. Getting distracted and not telling you what I'm doing. But yeah, I don't know if I'm just massively overthinking it. But in my head I'm like, if you're paying for tutorials, then they need to be like top notch. But yeah, let me know. Oop. I'm actually, I think, just going to start on this bit here, and we'll go back to that bit soon. So I'm going to carry on with nougat, and I'm just crisscrossing it over. I think the light's going a bit funny. I think just going back to what I was saying before about which direction I want to go in, even if I focus on teaching as like my main area, I would still do commissions, I think. Just maybe more like few and far between, like 1 or 2 a month rather than like full time, just because I do enjoy doing them. And that's always been what I've done, so I wouldn't want to just stop. But yeah, it'd be nice to not have to like rely on constantly doing commissions to earn a good living. Because it's scary when maybe you don't have like as many booked in and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And also, there's a lot of pressure to make it look perfect, which, I mean, I like making things look perfect anyway, and even if it's not a commission, I want it to look as close to the picture as possible. But yeah, when you've not seen the animal in real life, it's a bit harder, I suppose, like, to make it look perfect. But like most of the time, clients are really happy with it. So, and I don't send it until they are 100% happy. That's why I make sure to send like loads of pictures of the progress and stuff along the way. I'm just using dark sepia now. Just gonna start, there's like a little darker bit here and then there's like a marking that goes here. So I'm just gonna start adding that in. I think the hard thing about commissions is sometimes the reference pictures are a bit hard to work from. Like if you're using stock images and professional wildlife images and stuff, they're always going to be top quality and you can see every little marking and hair stroke and everything. But sometimes with commissions it's just a picture taken from like maybe like an older phone, or and it's not the clearest quality, so sometimes it's really hard to get as much detail in as you'd like. I think that's the bit I struggle with sometimes. That's partly why I really like doing this kind of stuff, because you can see so much detail. But I don't like saying no. Like I want to be able to do commissions for everyone that wants them, so I do take on like really difficult pictures, but I wouldn't do it if I wouldn't be able to do the quality of work I'd like to do. Sometimes it's a case of working from like a few different pictures to get the outcome that you want. But yeah, it just takes a bit longer sometimes. Went off on a bit of a tangent there. Just going to bring it down a little bit here. Right, my pencil needs sharpening. Right, I'm gonna add a little bit more dark sepia to these edges. Just really lightly and like bringing it in so it sort of blends in a bit. Gonna add a few more little strokes there. A few short ones just to blend these sections together. There is like a slight bluey tone in there, so I think I'm going to use... Right, we're going to try Cold Grey 3 here, there is a slight bluey colour. Might not make a difference, but it's very subtle. Just sort of focusing it into the outer part towards like this edge. There we go, I think that is a bit better. I think the lighting keeps going really funny, I'm sorry about that. Try and move it. I think every time I move my head it like goes a bit funny. There we go. I'm gonna add a bit more dark sepia, I think. Just gonna carry on with this bit. Just gonna bring it down with some strokes. Bring it up a bit as well. Just a few little wispy hairs there. I'm going to press on a little bit harder now and just add a few darker strokes. Between. I'm going to just darken up this one as well. I might even use a bit of black actually. Because that one is a lot darker than this one. Might have even done this a little bit too big, but it's fine. It's all good. Right, I am going to use a bit of black, and I'm just going to darken this marking just with a few little hairs, just add a bit more depth. I'm going to draw around that whisker at the bottom. Can add a few here as well. I'm just going to use a bit of dark sepia again. I just want to sort of like blend it out a bit. Just add a few longer hairs. Right, I'm going to do this little bit now, and then we can go back and add any little tweaks to the rest of it. But I'm just going to carry on with ivory as a base, just to about there, like that, and back to nougat. Start adding the first layer of fur, and it goes like sort of like up in this direction. It's just not stopped raining. I quite like the sound of rain though when you're inside. There's something really comforting about it. I'm gonna add a few more strokes through this section, just make it a bit more brown. And I'm gonna just add some warm grey 1 to this section. Bringing it down there a bit where that marking is, just so I can see where that's going to go. That'll do. And I'm going to use, what am I going to use? Dark sepia. Because I just want to define that edge a little bit. So I'm just going to start adding Just sort of like crisscrossing the hairs over again, just it looks a bit more random and not so uniform. Oh my gosh, it's actually like miserable. Can add a little bit of cold grey 3 through here as well, just a bit like bluey, just on this little bit. So I'm just going to start with a few strokes, see how it goes. There we go. And then I'm going to carry on with dark sepia. Just pressing on a little bit harder now, just where it's a bit darker here. Gonna add a few bits up here. This is definitely the ugly stage. I think it needs a bit of raw umber. Right, I'm going to use some raw umber. I'm just going to add it in here on this little marking. Just to lift it a little bit. A little bit around here. And definitely through this bit. I just think that this raw umber makes such a difference. Sometimes you just need like one colour to lift it and make it look a bit less flat. Then it just sort of like blends into this section here. Concentrating it mostly at the bottom. And then there's a little tiny bits running through this section. I think I need a bit more dark sepia through that bit. Just going to start adding a few shorter strokes just to create a bit more texture. It's looking a bit more like. Add a few more. I'm going to start bringing it down a little bit now. I don't know how much further we'll get. I think we've been drawing for quite a while, so I'll just bring it down a little bit to a point where it's less like random and it sort of blends into this section a bit more. So, ivory, just drawing around those whiskers. I'm gonna bring it, oh gosh, I'm smudging pencil marks everywhere. Gonna bring it down to about there. And I'm gonna use nougat to really faintly draw under that whisker and a little bit over it as well. And I'll do the same with, there's one here. Do the same with that one. I actually think I need to sharpen it a bit. And I'm going to start filling in the first strokes between. And then I'll just start underneath this one too. Keep your eye on the direction of the fur here because it gets a little bit messy again. It's going in all sorts of directions. And it sort of like comes down this way. And I'll use a bit of dark sepia and carry on bringing this little darker marking down. And go under the bottom of the whisker just faintly. And same with this one. And this one. And then this marking sort of like comes around here. So I'm just going to add some strokes. Just trying to blend it all together. Making sure that you're not going over those whiskers. I'm just going to carry that on, sort of like goes down here. Leaving like lighter bits of fur between it. Sort of like drawing round a few strokes. Just going to sharpen that. And here it kind of like blends into one. There's lots of weird little hairs all over the place, so just gonna add a few of those in. Just so it looks a bit more like this. Just going to darken it up at the right hand side a little bit. It is a bit darker here. Just pressing on a little bit harder. I think I need a bit more of a brown colour. It's all very confusing. Right, I'm going to add some raw umber. Just to this part. See how that looks. And here. And a bit in this section. And I'm going to just use a bit more dark sepia to try and like blend it together more. Just slightly lighter strokes. Just gonna underline that a bit more. And I'm just gonna use my little tomboy razor, just to put a bit too much on. Getting all the bits off, and I'll just carry on underneath this whisker. Just sort of like blending it all together a bit better. I think I need a few more strokes around here. And in between here. I'm just going to draw underneath this whisker too. And then carry on blending some more strokes in. I'm just going to use a tiny bit of black again, just here where it's a bit darker, just to accentuate that. And a little bit coming down here. Right, I think that looks a bit better now. So for this tutorial, I think I'll leave it there. We're at a bit of a random point where it looks a bit, I don't know, it doesn't look as together as it has done. But for the next part, we'll carry on down here and hopefully it'll start to look a bit more like the actual body. And then we'll move on to the tummy and the paw soon, so not far left to go now. I hope you have I hope you have enjoyed this part of the tutorial. Sorry if the lighting's been a bit funny. I need to figure out the best place to put it. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please give this video a like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time. Bye!